All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Well, I hope. We have got a lot of football. It's only 2 breaks, but each one is a half case break. So, yeah, it's going to take us a little while to get through all this. That's one of the reasons we started a little earlier than normal. So, looks like chat has loaded up here on the iPad. So, I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet for break number 1. And that is 6 boxes of 2013 Panini Prizm football. That's a half case. Of course, we broke the first half of the case a little bit back. I don't remember exactly when, week or two ago anyway. And this is the back end of that case. So that is why it is called break number 2. Our end date, of course, ended on eBay tonight, and our live stream schedule, that's right now. Our team names are down the left-hand side. Winning bidder names are down the right-hand side. You'll see a whole bunch in there that say no bids buyback. And that is just means, you know, those are orphan teams. You guys didn't love them, didn't want them, didn't adopt them. So any cards that come out for any of those teams will hang out here with me. And of course, break number 2 will come right after this break when we'll do the half case of Prestige. But first up is the half case of 2013 Prizm. And because there's a lot of cards involved with this, we're going to kind of buzz through it fairly at a decent clip, right? I mean, we're not going to really pause on the base or any of that kind of stuff. We'll stop and look at numbered inserts, note refractors, and things like that. But for the most part, we're gonna try to go through this at a pretty decent clip, unless it looks like it's worth some money. So while I am thinking about it in terms of shipping, I expect that this stuff will probably go out. You know, last night I said some stuff might go out on Monday, and then of course it occurred to me today, Monday's a holiday, so we won't be doing any shipping on Monday. So my best guess is that this stuff will go out on Tuesday. You know, there's always the possibility that I could get a little bit of it out early on Saturday, but I wouldn't say that that is super likely, because I do have the whole case of classics that we broke last night that still has to ship, along with some other stuff. So this requires, of course, a lot of sorting as well. So I'd say in general, look for this to go out on Tuesday. If it goes out earlier, so much the better, but that's kind of the target for the 2013 Prizm. And looks like our first hit is a Steeler, and it is a refractor, but it's not the Steeler we wanted, of course. We wanted a Le'Veon Bell refractor, and what we have is an Emmanuel Sanders refractor, which still, that's all right. Well, I say it's all right because I like the Steelers. So, yeah. You don't have any sound. Jason, does anybody else have problems with sound right now? Jason is saying he has no sound. Anybody else having the same issue? I will pause while I wait to see, if anybody else. Of course, if there's no sound, you wouldn't hear me saying that. So let me type it in chat. That wasn't real bright of me, was it? Okay, well, I guess I don't have to type it in chat because someone else says they do have sound. So Jess and I would say maybe check your device because Dave and David both are saying they are okay on sound. So I would say maybe just check the volume on your device and see if that's where the problem is, and then let us know. Oh, you got the Steelers tonight. All right, cool, Dave. Well, then you have the Emmanuel Sanders refractor there that we just hit. Hopefully we'll find you some Le'Veon Bell in one or both of these breaks. And we have a die-cut refractor. This is Holiday. It's going to be numbered, or it should be. Yeah, it's a 50. What does that say? A 31 of 50, maybe? Good grief. Yeah, you guys know my vision is god-awful when it comes to trying to read the numbers on. Yeah, so we have the Holiday die-cut orange numbered 250. And that was a little ad card, which I've just stacked over there with our regular cards. And I do remember, while I'm thinking about it, there is some weirdness in 2013 Prizm in that they have some finite cards, which are the black bordered cards, which are normally a 1 of 1. We're going to set that aside. That should be one of our hits. And yes, it is Xavier Rhodes for the Vikings. Rookie, sticker auto, not numbered. And on those finite cards in 2013, they should have also, there's a special pattern that they have in a lot of the Prizms, and they're called different things. Cracked ice and, this thing, that thing, and the other thing. Anyway, it has a finite pattern that is supposed to be on those cards with the black border, but some of them, they messed up. And they printed, there's a refractor, Decade of Dominance, Bart Starr. And they printed the cards with the black border without a signature and without the finite pattern on it. And then they created unintentionally another parallel by having the signature cards had the finite pattern, but did not, and the signature, but did not have the black border. So there's several kind of unintentional possibilities of parallel cards to pull out of 2013 Prizm. And I can't remember the exact, it's certain numbers in the set that were affected by that. And we'll have to see what those are. A redemption, yuck, we're going to set it down there while we talk about redemptions for a second before we go back to it. And that is, it's going to be expired. And a lot of you break with me often, so you've heard this speech before. But because sometimes we do have some new faces, I'm going to go through it again. And basically, here's what happens. You're going to get it. It's going to be expired. You still want to redeem it into your Panini account like you normally would. That is a Cameron Wake refractor for the Dolphins. And if you don't have a Panini account, that's easy to do. There's the instructions are on the redemption card. You just go set up the account and then you redeem it in there. Now, since it is expired, normally what would happen is you could reach out to them right away. Although lately they have been saying, apparently telling people you've got to wait 6 or 8 weeks after there's another Jonathan Franklin, after you put it in your account. So after it's in there, wait your 6 or 8 weeks, then go on to, good grief, why can't I not think of it? Twitter. I just went blank there for a second. Then go to Twitter and send a message to @PaniniCSM. That's the guy's handle, @PaniniCSM. And then tell him that you have an expired redemption. It's been in your account, whatever, 6 or 8 weeks, and you want to know if they still have the card. If he still has it, he will send it to you. If he does not still have it, he will work with you to either try to find another signed card from the same player, or if they don't have that available, he'll ask you, who some of your favorite teams and some of your favorite players are, and he'll try to find something comparable that he can send. And this is Mike Gillisley, which I'm 99% sure is a Dolphin, but we will verify that. We will checklist verify that before the break concludes. All right, so Dave, you have Lions, Cardinals, and Steelers in this break, and Cardinals and Titans in the next break. All right, cool. Well, see, Dave knows that I think we should always put it out in the universe what we're looking for, right? Like what teams we want to have hit, because you never know. Sometimes the universe delivers. So we're giving it a shot here with Dave's list. Lions, Cardinals, Steelers in this break, and Cardinals and Titans in the next break. So hopefully we're gonna pull something nice out of some of this. Is always the goal. And I like Prizm. And Prizm always does really well in basketball, but I don't know. Prizm doesn't ever seem to do as well in football as it does in basketball. And I don't really know why, honestly. I mean, it doesn't even really matter what year. I've done several different years of Prizm in football along the way, and none of them really ever do as well as Prizm does in basketball. It's kind of weird, because it's usually a pretty good Mike Glennon. Usually a pretty good value on the refractors and things. I stopped on that Mike Glennon because, of course, we know he's been nothing but a backup down there in Tampa Bay for ages and played just a handful of games. But since he got that big money contract this year, be interested to see if he lives up to the hype. And if he does, then maybe some of his rookie things will be worth something. You never know. There's a Manti Te'o for the Chargers. And again, of course, you can see that's a sticker auto. And that is not a refractor, unfortunately. But it is a rookie and signature. And didn't he just trade change teams? I think he did. I think he went somewhere in free agency. Juwan Jamison refractor for the Redskins. And Stedman Bailey trying to slide on down the road there. Stedman Bailey was getting ahead of himself. Yeah, I do like Prizm too, Dave. I don't know why it's... I mean, I know 2013 is obviously there are certain teams that have desirable rookies, but the entire rookie class is not like as hot as some years. I do realize that. But even so, I mean, I'm surprised at how poorly how poorly Prizm did from 2013. Chris Thompson for, what does that say? Oh, the Redskins again. I was like, I don't know what happened to me there. I just couldn't see where it said of course, said Washington down there, but for a second I didn't see that. I don't know where my head was. There's Antonio. So we pulled both of our signatures early out of this box. I have hit Te'o a lot lately. You're right. He's, that's always my theory, is that certain players just kind of follow me around, for lack of a better term. Like, you tend to hit them in groups. I've been hitting a lot of Kobe Bryant in basketball in the last month or two. I've been hitting a lot of Te'o in football. Somebody else. Who else am I thinking of? Somebody else I've been hitting a lot in football lately as well. And it might just be that sometimes I notice them more than others, but, There's a nice Brett Kiesel for you. A nice refractor Monday Night Hero Brett Kiesel, Fear the Beard. So that's pretty cool hit. That's actually one of the cards that Panini sent me. I had some expired redemptions. No, this was probably back in January. And I had him, they didn't have the cards anymore. And it was players that they weren't Steelers. They were on another team. And so he asked what I wanted. There's a Le'Veon Bell Rookie Impact. I wish that had been a refractor, but unfortunately it is not. And so I said, I don't care, man. I'm just any Steeler. It doesn't matter to me. I like Steelers, past, present, whatever. So he ended up replacing a couple of my cards with a nice signed Brett Kiesel that I think was to 25, if I'm remembering right. And then he sent me a Jack Ham to 25. And then, of course, the redemptions that he was trading out for had also been numbered to 25, but still, it was nice. There's an Aaron Dobson refractor for the Patriots. And it was kind of fun because I didn't know what he was going to send me. I had just, like I said, I had literally just said, hey, whatever Steeler you want to send, doesn't matter to me, send away. So it was kind of fun to get the package and then find out that I had Jack Ham and Brett Kiesel in there. Because you don't really see a whole lot of Kiesel autographs, honestly. And there is Gronk on, whoops, what have I got going on right there? Gronk and a refractor. Let me just scoot this little group, scoot those two little groups back and create a tiny bit of extra space and scoot these guys down. Like, that's probably more information than you needed to know, right? So there's the Gronkowski refractor for the Patriots, and that's just a advertisement. But that guy on Panini's Twitter, he is a really nice guy, and he will try to find you something that works. Honestly, I think part of the reason that he started telling people they had to wait 6 or 8 weeks is because, of course, anytime I pull an expired redemption, which is often because I open a lot of older products, I always tell everybody the same thing I told you guys tonight. And so, of course, there's tons of people every time that say, oh, you know, I've had redemptions waiting in my account for 2 years, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And so I'm sure then everybody kind of probably all at once like collapsed on the guy and said, hey, hey, hey. And I think he just got overwhelmed, and that's probably why he's now telling everybody they have to wait. There's a Desmond Trufant for the Falcons. I think we've pulled him a lot lately too, haven't we? Or am I just dreaming that? Maybe not, but I think we have. So there, Andrew Hawkins refractor for the Bengals. And then, of course, the Upper Deck expired redemptions. Those are a whole other animal. I didn't really know about those. I think it was Steven who messaged me after we did one of the Upper Deck breaks and had pulled some expired redemptions, and he told me that, of course, Upper Deck doesn't, you know, honor them or even replace them, but what they do is put you in some kind of a drawing that they have for, you know, your redemption goes into whatever this drawing. I don't even know what comes out of the drawing, but supposedly they have different levels of it, and then depending on, you know, what your card, I guess, either is worth or was worth at that time or something, goes into the drawing, and then, you know, hopefully you get something back out of it. Michael Rivers for the Raiders is our signature here, another rookie hit. But, you know, I opened some Upper Deck, and I've actually got some more Upper Deck here that I need to get listed. But I don't open it, of course, as much as I open everything else. Miles Austin for the Cowboys in the die-cut refractor numbered 250. And, of course, partially that's because Upper Deck, you know, they lost their license a bit back to do any of the licensed cards for, I think, anything but hockey. I think they still have hockey. Obviously, MLB is exclusive to Topps as far as being licensed. Panini can still produce things, but they can't, you know, put the team logos on there. They have the deal with the Players Association. And then, of course, Topps lost their licensed football after 2015, so Panini has the only licensed football cards these days. But I think all of that started, actually, with Upper Deck trying to go in back several years ago, and I may not be remembering this exactly 100% correctly, but I think it's mostly correct, in that Upper Deck went several years back, and said to the NFL or the NBA or both, hey, I want to do an exclusive deal. You know, we want to be the only ones that can have licensed cards, because before that, of course, you know, everybody could make a deal. There is a DeMarcus Ware Brilliance insert refractor hit for the Cowboys. And so, you know, then it turned into, predictably, a bidding war. And then they ended up losing the right. They didn't, you know, they didn't have the high bid. They didn't get the rights. But then the best I recall, didn't Upper Deck, I'm fairly certain this is right, Upper Deck then went on and made some cards anyway, even though they weren't licensed to do it. And not the kind where, you know, they left off the team logos and whatnot. And then they got their pants sued off of them, I think. But anyway, it was that, of course, that started the whole deal with everything moving towards one licensed brand, if you will, as opposed to everybody paying contract amounts and being able to produce stuff. So Upper Deck hasn't had current football and basketball, or yeah, football and basketball content in a while. Hockey they still have, I think. But the other stuff they don't. Another Redskin. And this is Juwan Jameson again. What is up with Juwan Jameson? Come on, dude. We want to see somebody else come out of here. I mean, that's fine, I guess, if you got the Redskins and you like Juwan Jameson, but, you know, hey, we'd like to see a little variety. Another Xavier Rhodes. This one is a refractor, but of course that one doesn't have the signature. The signature one wasn't a refractor. Why can't we get them combined? That's what we'd like to have. Brilliance insert LaShawn McCoy for the Eagles. Refractor hit. So I was sorting, starting to work on the sorting today for classics, which it takes a while to do. And of course we broke the case last night, but we broke it in as a half and a half, so 2 different breaks, half each time. And I believe that we only had 1 Mahomes and 1 Garrett, and like one of most of what I would call the top probably 10 or 15 people drafted, I think only hit in that case 1 time a piece. And I'm talking about in any format, not even signed, because we didn't pull any of them signed, just even in there at all. There's Kevin Minter, rookie refractor for the Cardinals, followed by a regular Kevin Minter. So they weren't listed as short prints on there, but yet I find it hard to believe that we went through a whole case without pulling, and there's some we didn't pull even at all. And we only pulled Fournette, I think, once out of the whole entire case. I mean, so I think there's going to be several of those rookies that are short printed in classics, unless we find out in, you know, case number 2, unless it swings in the other direction, but I have a feeling it's not going to. But I thought that was kind of interesting because normally, you know, you would see lots of rookie cards of the higher profile rookies. Maybe that's the way I should say it. Yeah, the higher profile ones. But not the case last night. At least not what I've seen thus far in sorting. Ah, there is Marcus Lattimore for the Niners. And that one is not a refractor either. I don't know why they're so stingy with their signatures, not giving us refractor hits with signatures. They're making us work for it tonight, aren't they? What's the deal, Panini? Come on, show us some love there. I'm trying to get had to move the touchpad over there. Sometimes it goes to sleep if you don't reach over and give it a little love tap, so to speak. Look at that. Tebow as a Patriot. Like, I had forgotten all about Tebow as a Patriot, right? I mean, yeah, pretty much. He's here this week. In fact, I think tonight they had a game. His minor league team is in town playing the Lexington Legends, which is the minor league team that is here where I live. Supposedly he's been, you know, upping attendance like crazy everywhere he plays. But I would hope that if, you know, I mean, the guy has, I know he's trying and he is a good athlete, but I don't think he's really had a ton of success thus far in his minor league baseball career. So I hope that they either work with him so that he gets a little better, or that they, you know, send him off to the broadcast booth or something. I don't think they should keep him just as like a, you know, attraction, so to speak. But yet, I mean, I guess if he doesn't care, I guess it doesn't matter. He's got enough money, he doesn't have to worry about it. I'm surprised, honestly, though, that he's willing to do all those 12-hour bus rides and all the other things you have to do in the minors. And I guess he must really love it. I just went back to that for a second to look at that J.J. Watt, because, well, I really don't know why, other than because the Steelers drafted T.J. Watt, who I hope is going to be as good as Big Brother J.J., and that would be nice. We need to get back to some steel curtain defense. All right, so there's Stephen Taylor, and that is not much of a signature, but yet better than some. There is a little attempt at some extra letters in there anyway. And of course that is for the Cardinals. So you are getting some hits in here, Dave. So the universe was listening when you said what teams you had. That's always a good sign, right? We always like that plan. These cards are heavy too. Like individually, there's a Le'Veon rookie. Again, not a refractor, and I wish that it were, but it is not. But at least you've hit two Le'Veon rookies, the rookie impact and the straight up rookie, but neither of them our refractor, unfortunately, not yet anyway. But we still have the rest of this box to go, and then the next one. So hopefully, and there's another rookie impact. So there's two rookie impacts and one straight up Le'Veon rookie in here to this point. And Zach Dysert, excuse me, Zach Dysert for the Broncos is our signature hit there. It's funny when you go back through sometimes the older series of cards, like you forget about certain players. And certainly I mean, I had forgotten all about Tebow being with the Patriots till we saw that card just a second ago. Sam Montgomery, refractor for the Texans. I'm surprised we haven't seen much Eddie Lacy either. I mean, obviously we just saw the paper Eddie Lacy went by, but I haven't really seen much Eddie Lacy in here tonight either. I know, a Lacy signed refractor would be the deal, right? I mean, yeah, that would be a pretty sweet hit. The Lacy or the Le'Veon Bell, either one, signed refractor would be some money for sure. Let's go and get the advertising card off the back now. That way we'll have to get to it at the end. And there's poor old Landry. Poor old Landry Jones. Shows up everywhere in 2013. Languishing away behind Big Ben, and my guess is Josh Dobbs will overtake him for the number 2 spot. And I know they say Josh is kind of a project. He's going to take some time to adjust. There's a Jarvis Jones rookie refractor for the Steelers. We're getting so close to it. Why couldn't you have been Le'Veon? But I don't know. So even though they're saying Josh Dobbs is kind of a project, so to speak, I think with a year or two, which is probably how much longer Big Ben will play, probably a couple more years. There's an Alden Smith Monday Night Heroes refractor. I think Josh Dobbs might be positioned to get it together and take over. And if that's the case, then poor Landry will have been number 2 all those years and then still end up being number 2 or going elsewhere or whatever he might do. But I don't know. I guess they probably still make pretty good money. I'm going to move some of these base cards out of the way so we have a little bit more room. I imagine they still make really good money even as the backup quarterback. I mean, obviously most teams have 3 or 4 quarterbacks anyway. And if you're number 2 and running the practice squad and whatnot, I expect you're still bringing home some decent money. So I don't know. Who knows? Landry might be fine with that. He might be like, yeah, I'm not out there getting concussions and getting the crap kicked out of me, and I'm still making lots of money. So he might be happy. You never know. All right, that gives us a little bit more room to work for this last box of Prizm, and then we'll bust into some Prestige after that. think so far all of our signature content out of here has been rookie. Wouldn't mind pulling a nice veteran signature out of here tonight either. And we have another hit for the Cardinals. It's working for you tonight, Dave. And this is a Tyrann Mathieu. I don't know. You know I'm not going to say it right. Terrible with that. He's a short print in some sets. I don't remember if he is a short print in Prizm or not. He's definitely a short print in 2013 Contenders. But I don't think he is in Prizm. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look it up. But anyway, we still got another hit. I was actually thinking about buying a case of 13 Contenders and busting into that. Because, you know, there's a lot of, I don't know how much you look at the card values and things, but there's a ton of double-digit cards in 13 Contenders. I mean, for it to be a somewhat down year for the rookie class, I mean, there's a ton of double-digit hits in 13 Contenders. Monday Night Heroes, Colin Kaepernick, refractor. He's working out for, who is it? The Seahawks, I think, this week, right? I think it is the Seahawks. He might be a decent fit down there as backup quarterback. But I don't know. What do you guys think about breaking 2013 Contenders? You have any interest? I mean, to me, I kind of always like Contenders because there are always money cards to be had in Contenders, no matter what the rookie class was like. There's always good money to be made out of Contenders. There's an Eric Fisher refractor for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know. I've been toying around with it, trying to decide if I want to bite the bullet and bring the case in or not. Justin, did you get your volume straightened out, man? Are you okay on that? I guess if you didn't, you're not going to know that I'm saying that, but I'm thinking that you probably did, because it seems like I think from what I'm seeing in chat, I think you're okay and able to hear everything now. There's a Chris Gregg refractor hit for the Bills. Let me just, yeah, all right. I have to roll around through there again to make sure we're still rolling okay on the iPad. Dwayne Allen for the Colts. And there, this is an example of what I'm talking about. This is the black border. So this, I believe, should have had the little finite pattern in it, which it doesn't have. But still, first of all, there's our veteran hit that I was talking about. Secondly, you don't find these black border cards very often. So this Dwayne Allen is a nice little hit there for the Colts with the signature on there. And if it hadn't, I feel like this was probably one of them that was affected by the weird thing that they had going on, because this should have, I'm 99% sure, should have had that finite pattern on it. But that's a very nice hit. I think most of those finites are one of one. That doesn't say one of one on it, but it may well be a one of one. Okay, so you guys are interested then in Contenders. All right, I got all sidetracked there by the by the Dwayne Allen, and I forgot to look back over at chat. Sorry about that. So yeah, I think you know, I may bite the bullet and bring that in here. I've got a lot of stuff here I've got a ton of stuff that I need to get listed, and somehow, I don't know, I run out of time and I don't get it listed. So I got to get busy next week and get caught back up and sell through a bunch of stuff. But I'm thinking about rolling through with the Contenders. Travis Kelce rookie. All right, so let's review what we have here. We're going to go through our refractors first before we do our signatures. So these are all, of course, just refractors. Well, I say just, but, you know, some refractors are worth quite a bit of money, so I shouldn't say just. We'll say they are refractors without signatures. And this, of course, is the die-cut orange parallel numbered to 50. Another die-cut orange parallel, also numbered to 50. So we got a pretty, got a solid number of refractors there. Of course, we were hoping for a Lacey or a Le'Veon. We didn't get that, but we still got some nice stuff. And yeah, I know I still have to do signatures. I'm just moving some more cards out of the way because there's such a tremendous amount of them. Then we have our redemption, which I will checklist verify momentarily, although I'm pretty sure that Gillis Lee is going to be the Dolphins. I don't remember him ever being, you know, traded or anything after he was drafted. We have the Dwayne Allen finite, which you know, it does not say 1 of 1, but I am pretty sure that these were 1 of 1 with the black border. So that, whoever has the Colts, you want to research that a little bit, is what I'm saying to you. There's Mathieu, rookie hit for, autograph signature hit, rather, for the Cardinals. The Zach Dysert for the Broncos. Stephen Taylor for the Cardinals. Marcus Lattimore for the Niners. Juwan Jamison for the Skins. Michael Rivera for the Raiders. Trufant for the Falcons. Thompson for the Redskins again. The Teo for the Chargers. And the Xavier Rhodes for the Vikings. So let's get these set aside and then go into checklist verify that. So give me 1 second while I get myself to the right page, if I can manage to get myself to the right page. Oh, why is my... I'm trying to get it to do one thing, and my iPad is trying to do a thing not what I want it to do. It's trying to do its own thing, which is not what we're going for, iPad. As you know, I watch along with you guys on the iPad just to try to catch if there's any... if there are any problems. Of course, I do have to keep the volume down or it would echo because I have to do the broadcast from a different computer. So the point being, once I have to go on to another screen to verify some things, then I can't see chat for a few minutes because I'm on the iPad using it to do that. And what is the card number? 271. Why is that not come up? I've got to read that wrong. No, that is right. Rookie autographs. Why is it coming up? Oh, because that says... that was my fault. I clicked on the thing that said Rookie Impact. Not too bright some days. Come on, brother. Yeah, he is a Dolphin. So all that to pretty much do what we already knew anyway, but yet, I know. I just like to be sure. I know. It's a drag that I stop and do that, but it's better that way, I think. Get it all said and done at once. All right, so that is our last hit out of the box, and that is, of course, Dolphins. Now, that brings us up to time to look at the spreadsheet. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, you see all this little white crud that's all over the mat? That comes off of those cards. On the Prizm cards, they have like white flakes of stuff that come off of them. So when you get them, if you see like white stuff in the, sleeve or the top loader or whatever, that's what it is. It actually comes off of the card itself. It's kind of odd, but all the Prizms do it. So there you go. So next up we have a half case, which is 6 boxes of 2013 Prestige football. You guys know I love Prestige. And this is, of course, second time we've broken that because it is the back half of a case. And once again, we have our team names down the left, our winning bidder names down the right. Only a couple of unsold teams in here, not a whole lot. One unpaid team, and that is at least as of probably, I guess I finalized about 5 minutes before the break tonight. As we only had the 2 breaks, it didn't take too long. So payment may have come in for the Falcons since then, but as of the time that I finalized the spreadsheet and we went live, it wasn't yet paid. So that's how that works. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the plastic on all these. Well, we may have to just really, well, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't take it all off right now because then we'll lose track of what hits coming out of what box. I always like to try to keep track of that. Just make sure Panini's not you know, shorting us anything. And, you know, we got an extra hit in something the other day. It was either in 2006 or 2007 Contenders. And I can't remember which one. But there were two right together, two signature hits right together, back to back in the same pack in the box. The second one was a Steeler, and I remember thinking it was Ryan Shazier, and I remember thinking I didn't think we were supposed to have that many hits in here because we had already had several hits. And then I just figured, well, I was wrong about the number that should have been in there, and I went back and looked later, and we did. We got an extra hit. We were supposed to have 4, and we got 5. And honestly, I think it is just that it got stuck to the other card, you know? That's what I think happened. I think it was an entire extra card in the pack that wasn't even supposed to be in there, much less a hit. Stars of the NFL insert for the Browns. Those are not numbered as far as I know. I don't remember seeing any of those die cuts numbered before. Which is not to say that they're not. We'll still check them as we get them. Draft ticket Monte Ball. And there's all kinds of fun little inserts and stuff in Prestige. In fact, I really enjoy the inserts that we get in Prestige. And that's an NFL passport for Teo. Of course, the passport is always a fun one to pull. And usually the passports are short prints. I'd have to go back and look to see for sure if it's a short print in 13 or not, but often the NFL passports are short prints. Inside the numbers, Adrian Peterson. And, oh, so here's our first hit, an extra points. Alec Ogletree for the Rams. That one is not numbered. Sometimes the extra points are numbered and sometimes they are not. It is a refractor, of course, and it is a sticker auto. So that is the first of what should be 4 hits for us in this box. Matt Schaub, extra points. That one is numbered, as you see, to 100. Of course, it's not signed, but it is numbered. A little blank dummy card, decoy card, whatever you want to call it. The cards that trip people up that are standing around feeling packs, trying to pick the right pack. Robert Woods, NFL ticket. Come on now. So we'll be opening some 2017 Prestige before too long. There's another NFL passport, so they must not be short prints in this series because we wouldn't, I don't think, have pulled 2 right in a row, or relatively close to one another if they were. Probably the autograph hit will still be a short print, would be my guess in here. There's a Mike Glennon, Draft City Destination rookie. So yeah, we're going to be opening some 2017 Prestige when it comes out, which is not too terribly far in the distance. I think it is either the 7th or the 14th of June. I kind of lose track between all the baseball and basketball and football. Everything comes out at once. And that is Prestigious Picks E.J. Manuel for the Bills, rookie. But it's coming up before too long. And I did bite the bullet and go ahead and order some Elite Football, too, for 2017. I was kind of back and forth about it. Another Prestigious Picks, Aaron Dobson, about whether or not I wanted to order 17 Elite. But at the end of the day, I did order it. Or pre-order it, rather. I think it'll be worth it. Extra points, Theo Riddick. There's some nice stuff you can pull out of some of the early releases of our new little rookies. There's a draft picks insert for Cordell Patterson. We only pulled one of our hits so far, right? Yeah, we should have 3 more hiding around in here somewhere. waiting for us in this box. And sometimes I think they even put printing plates and things like that in here. So occasionally we'll come up with something we didn't even know we were going to find. Extra points refractor for Kenny Stills. I, for one, will be glad when we start seeing our rookies in their pro uniforms because it'll help me remember what team they all went to. In the meantime, there's Monte Ball for the Broncos. It can be kind of a drag trying to remember it all. Cordell Patterson to 299 on what am I trying to say? The NFL Draft Insert Materials Hit Rookie Card, Cordell Patterson. And, of course, that is just going to be marked as event worn. And it looks like, well, we do have a little bit of a wonky corner down here in the lower right. And I talk about this every time we do a break, but you kind of have to in case it's somebody that hasn't done a break, with me before, that the vast majority of cards do not come out of the pack perfect. They mostly come out with imperfections, and especially on the thicker cards, this edge wear and corner wear is unfortunately fairly common. Now, this is an example of one of the refractor patterns, and I don't know what that pattern name is. You can kind of see the pattern. It looks kind of like waves, but I'm sure they didn't call it that because that'd be too easy. So that's an NFL Passport Denard Robinson for the Jags. That is a refractor with the weird pattern on it. And it's not really the same. I mean, it is a refractor, but it's not what we maybe traditionally, I guess I should set it down here, what we traditionally think of as a refractor, but it is still a refractor. It's just a different sort of version of one. Oh, that's upside down. If I ever got the chance to talk to the people at Panini, I think I would the first thing I would probably ask them is, why in the name of God do you have to have the cards go in 17 directions in the same pack? Makes me crazy. Joseph Randall. Oh, that's a nice piece of material, too. I like that. That is numbered to 49, I think that says. Is that 3 or an 8? I don't know. You all can see it better than I can. It's either a 3 or an 8 of 49. Joseph Randall for the Cowboys. And that is, well, that's most likely off of, well, I don't know. I was going to say around the sleeve, but I'm not 100% sure if that's around the sleeve or not. But still, that's a nice piece of material for the Cowboys. You guys know I love my materials hits. Well, nice ones anyway. Ones that have multiple colors and cool stuff. Vance McDonald. My favorite one, like still to this day, I think. I mean, and we've pulled some NFL shields and other stuff that are cool, but I still think my favorite material that we pulled to date is when we pulled the actual dolphin, the little, stitched dolphin for one of the dolphins. I just loved that. That gave me the biggest thrill. I know, I'm so easily amused. But I did, I loved it. Keenan Allen. Not every day that you could pull the little dolphin. Of course, if we pulled the little cardinal or something else, I'd be thrilled with that too. Another hit for the Cowboys, and this is Joseph Randall a second time, and this, of course, on the extra points insert, and that is a refractor. Doesn't appear to be numbered on that one. But there you go with a pair of Joseph Randall hits. Jared, I think those are you on tonight, Jared? Did you have the Cowboys in both breaks? If you did, those are a couple nice hits for you. Ah, Landry. Go away, Landry. We want Le'Veon. We want to see Le'Veon, Landry. No offense to you, although maybe a little offense to you, because, yeah, we don't want you. All right. Let's see what comes out of box number 2. And the Prestige cards always have, you're going to think I'm crazy, but like you probably already think that. You're like, yeah, you don't need to say anything else for us to think that. But the Prestige series of cards has, in particular, a very distinctive smell when they come out of the pack. Like, there's new car smell for sure. Everybody knows what new car smell is. And there is truly kind of a new trading card smell. And some brands smell different than others. I know that sounds, just even as I say it, I know that sounds so stupid. But yet they do. They kind of do smell different. And Prestige has, like, at least 2013 Prestige, I should say, has a very unique smell, unlike any of the others. Oh, I was hoping maybe Marcus Wheaton would be signed for you, but no such luck on that one. But that was a nice Marcus Wheaton. We pulled out a playbook the other night, for sure. Watch, Niall Davis will be the signed one. No, good. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say good. I mean, whoever has the Chiefs, I don't wish you any you know, I don't want you to not get hits if you have the Chiefs. I was just, you know, obviously we're hoping to find a little, something with a little more value to it out of here tonight. Giovanni Bernard to 199 on the prestigious Picks material hit, and sadly just a plain old white piece of cloth. They didn't do us any favors at all with that one. Just plain white. But I guess they can't all have multiple colors and mascots and things on them. Otherwise, it wouldn't make the ones special that do have them. So I will begrudgingly concede that. Rookie leaders to 299. We have Justin Blackmon for the Jags, Kendall Wright Titans, Doug Martin Bucks, and Trent Richardson Browns. So we will be heading to ourfriendrandom.org for that fellow when we get to the end of the break. The only way that would not go to random is if someone owned 3 of the 4 teams, in which case then it would not have to go to random. But you have to own 51% or more, and so oh, let's see. On Fred, what are you telling me? Which card are you talking about, Fred? I just saw your chat that you're saying the Beckett online price guide. For which cards are we talking about? Because, you know, it comes up delayed, right? Like, you guys type it in, but it takes a little bit before it pops up for me to see it. And then, of course, also, I'm looking at the cards and running my mouth, so I don't always glance over. Oh, now I see right below it. That is for Alan. Okay, yeah, see? Yeah, one of those days, right? One of those days. Eddie Lacy. Oh, nice. Okay, there's our Eddie Lacy. And this is on Draft City Destinations. That is an on-card auto, and I am pretty sure that the Draft City Destinations signature is a short print. So I'm pretty sure that Mr. Eddie Lacy there is a short print auto. And it is definitely on card and a nice hit. Very nice. Mike Gillisley. I don't know why I couldn't manage to get that pack open. Having a little problem there, wasn't I? That looks, I don't ever remember seeing that Geno Smith rookie before with him in his street clothes. I mean, I guess we probably have, but maybe I just didn't notice it before, or maybe it's short print. Justin, you had the Packers in this break too, right, man? So you're taking that Eddie Lacy home, is that right? Calvin Johnson, I don't know. These are technically probably not acetate, but whatever you want to call it. It is definitely die cut, and it's on a plastic type card. Ah, that's Nassib. That's another one you see quite often in 2013 products. Yeah, the Eddie Lacy's definitely worth the price of admission for you there. There's Tom Brady extra points insert numbered to 100. We pulled a nice Tom Brady, I think it was out of Prizm actually, out of the first half of Prizm that was numbered to like 10. It was a gold Monday Night Heroes, or maybe numbered to 5. It was low numbered anyway. We've pulled a fair amount of Brady lately. Materials hits and a few signatures. Fantasy team Marshawn Lynch. Oh, good, man. I'm glad you had the Packers in both breaks then. Because, you know, sometimes, like, I bid most of the time when I bid on other people's breaks in football, like I'd say 98% of the time, I'm Steelers only. And basketball, I'm all over the map. I bid on tons of different teams in basketball. But Steelers, I tend to stick primarily, daggone it, why couldn't that have been autographed? I tend to stick primarily with my Steelers. And so sometimes, well, there might be 4 or 5 breaks ending in a night, and maybe I'll get outbid on 1, and I'll have the Steelers in 3 and get outbid on the 4th. There's Tyler Bray, Chiefs, extra points, and again, sticker auto. And so it is like invariably, the one break where I don't have the Steelers will be the one that hits the Steelers, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times that has happened. But I subscribe to your strategy, right? Like, I try to do the same thing. If I'm going to be bidding with the same person multiple breaks in a night, I do try to win the Steelers in every break, because it just kills me, man, if I have them like in everything but one, and then the one I don't have them is the one that hits. It just absolutely kills me. So yeah, I feel you on that. I do try to do the same thing. So I'm glad you had them both breaks tonight. That's the moral of the story. As I have definitely watched some other people hit some amazing hits when I have not before. There's Eddie Lacy again on the NFL Draft Picks insert. And Joseph Randall is all over the place in this last couple boxes. We're breaking out in Joseph Randall cards. You have good, man. So you have like, you know, there's a couple people that bid with me that definitely have that kind of what you're talking about, I think, basically, which is you get a feeling, right, that it's time for such and such to hit. And so you go bid on that, and sometimes you get lucky and it pays off, and sometimes, of course, we don't, but sometimes we do. I had that feeling a few months back in regard to Antonio Brown rookies coming out of 2010 plates and patches. So I bid on a few, and I lost, you know, either lost the bid or won the bid, and then no Antonio came out. And so I was like, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm off the mark. So I set out for a week or two, and then I went back in again and started bidding again. And the very first break after I started back that I bid on had my Antonio Brown rookie signature to 25. I was like, yeah, sweet. Tyler Eifert. So yeah, sometimes it pans out the way we think it's going to. Monte Ball to 399 on the materials hit. But of course, then again, that could just be, you know, because I did have the feeling once before and it didn't hit. So then I took the break, and then when I felt like it was the right time, jumped back in. And so I was right the second time, but I definitely wasn't right the first time. Yeah, that first time, several weeks, I was like, no. I saw other people hit it, but I never did. So what other predictions did you hit this week, Justin? Who else have you pulled in your various breaks? We'll all live vicariously through you, right? You can tell us what what you're finding this week. Ah, going upside down and crazy. What is happening there? Gino. Ah, I really, you know, all the cards going in 100 different directions just super irritates me. Oh, you hit a Rogers out of 5. Nice. Woodson out of 2. Matthews out of 10. Wow, I would love to have that Woodson out of 2. That is nice. And then, of course, you know, hitting Rogers to 5 is pretty sweet, too. You've had a heck of a week, man. That is awesome. Theo Riddick. All right, well, there's not signed anyway, but yeah, the Eddie Lacy in here, that's I've opened a fair amount of 2013 Prestige, not obviously all in breaks, because, you know, it's only the second time we've broken a half case here, but just personally, I open it quite a bit because, you know, I was looking for my Le'Veon Bell, and I found him out of here a while back. I think it was to 25. I'd have to double check. Aaron Dobson, and that one is numbered to 50, 11 of 50. So, yeah, but before I pulled my Le'Veon, I would buy Prestige pretty regularly to open myself. Because I was just determined. I mean, absolutely. I'm like, I am not going to stop opening 2013 Prestige until I pull my Le'Veon Bell. And I did. It didn't take me as long as you might think either. I didn't have to open like thousands of boxes, but I did open, you know, a fair amount. You just collect the Packers. Cool, man. Yeah, you're like me with the Steelers. That's your team. That's your groove. Yeah, the reason I'm kind of more all over the map for basketball is, you know, I went to UK, University of Kentucky, as my alma mater, and we have a lot of players in the NBA, so I tend to collect my former UK players, as well as, you know, the Steelers as a team, of course, in football, but then in basketball, just all of my ex-UK players. Bjorn Werner for the Colts. That one's not numbered, I don't think. So there is Le'Veon in a straight-up rookie. Not signed, unfortunately, but at least in a straight-up rookie we have him. So in football, of course, you know, UK doesn't have like the greatest track record, right? I mean, we do have a handful of players in the NFL for sure. In fact, Randall Cobb on the Packers is an ex-UK guy. So I like your Packers because of Randall, and I do collect cards of just Randall, but not, of course, the Packers as a team. But I do go out and try to find our individual UK players on their various NFL teams from time to time. So sometimes I will get on other teams if I'm after a certain player, like occasionally, you know, I'll dive in. Oh, that's a nice patch. Numbered to 25. That's a really nice patch. Luke I never say the guy's name. Jockel, whatever his name is. That's a nice patch. That's the point of the matter. It's got to be like on the edge of probably the number, possibly a letter, but probably the number because we've got all the colors in there. And like our other thicker cards, you know, again, you've got some little chipping and wear, some on the corners and things. But still, cool fabric. So yeah, every once in a while I will get in on the Packers trying to hit Randall. And we did pull a Randall. I pulled a Randall myself. I mean, not for me, but out of a break I was doing. Out of 2011 Prime Signatures, pulled a nice Randall Cobb on card auto a little while back. Stars of the NFL, Mike Wallace. And there is Randall, speak of the devil. So yeah, I definitely I roam around a little bit in the NFL for that purpose when I'm buying into breaks, but not too often. Mostly I just like my Steelers. And there's something about, too, you know, just, I don't know, like I said, I get in those grooves where I'm thinking, like I was with Prestige there for a while, I was just like, oh, I am not going to stop opening Prestige until I pull that Le'Veon Bell. Sometimes I just get something in my head and I think, nope, not gonna, I'm gonna find it. I was that way with Cam Newton in 2011 Prime Signatures. Not for me to buy into, but to, you know, find in a break for someone else who had bid on it. And I said, you know, I'm like, you know, I had a fair amount, and I still have some 2011 Prime Signatures here, but I was like, I'm not going to stop opening this till I find that Cam Newton rookie auto, that rookie on-card auto. And then once I finally found it, I was like, oh, okay, now I can rest for a little bit. And so then I didn't list Prime Signatures for a couple weeks. Now I'm back to it. This is the $2.99 League Leaders Andy Dalton materials hit for the Bengals. And you know, I thought the same way about Andrew Luck when I was thinking about the 2012 Prime Signatures. But don't you know, I pulled Andrew Luck right out of the very first case of 2012 Prime Signatures that I ever broke. Came right out of the very first one. So I was like, well, all right. That kind of took a little bit of the, challenge out of that one because I hit it right away. Currently, I'm determined that we're going to find an Adrian Peterson signed rookie somewhere in some of the 2007 stuff I have. So I'm currently on that kick, and also on a couple of 2010s. Although we did pull the Des Bryant out of 2010 Prestige last weekend, I think it was. We already found the Des Bryant in 2010, but of course I'm still looking for Antonio and a couple other players in there. But you'll kind of see when I break older stuff, I do tend to go in groups. So like I might break a fair amount of 2007 or 2006 or whatever the case may be in a relatively compact period of time. And that's usually because there's somebody in there in particular that I think we ought to be able to pull. So Adrian Peterson in 2007, that's my white whale that I'm chasing right now. Ben Roethlisberger. And then, of course, after all that, like I won't even get to keep it. It'll just go to whoever has the Vikings. But that's not really the point. The point is just to find it, not to keep it, just to find it. Because it's fun. I like opening cards. I have a blast doing breaks. I think it's an absolute blast. So even when I'm sending the cards out and not keeping them, it's still, to me, just a lot of fun. Let's see what we get. So hopefully I'm going to be right, and we are going to find Adrian Peterson soon. I think I've got probably maybe 5 or 6 different 2007 things around here at the moment. So he's probably already here, just waiting in one of those boxes for us to find him. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're going to find him. All right, another Cardinal, Stephen Taylor. Again, this is on-card auto, but this is a draft tickets, which is, I think, slightly different. Our other was Draft City Destinations for Eddie Lacy. The Stephen Taylor is nice on-card as well on the draft ticket, but not the Draft City Destination necessarily. Now, why did I just... Oh, that is right. That was in the right pile. There for a minute, I thought I stacked him in the wrong place. Trying to keep them kind of separated over there so that when we do the review, we can just grab what we need to grab, and it'll all be somewhat organized. I'm surprised my little cats are not down there playing in the wrappers by now, because normally by this point in the night, with that many wrappers on the ground, they'd be having a ball over there. And you would hear all kinds of rustling and jumping and commotion. But they're being very well behaved tonight. Like, they're not even downstairs trying to tear anything up. I don't know. They must be asleep. Very unusual for them to not be into anything. It's little brother and sister, and they like to go crazy when I'm doing breaks because they know that I'm not going to get up and do anything to them. So they just run wild. They go crazy on me. Oh my God, I'm just going to leave those upside down. Yes, I did. It was just one too many to have to turn over. Oh, Rick, are you talking about the cats? Yeah, they are. They're kind of, they are really cute. They're crazy, though. Ken John Barner for the Panthers. And I still call them little, but really they're not. I mean, they still act like they're little babies, like they're little kittens, but they're not. They're probably, gosh, it's awful. I'm a bad pet parent. I don't even know exactly how old they are, but I think they're around 4. I have a bunch of, well, used to have a lot of feral cats that live around here because I back up to a park. But over the course of time, I have, you know, caught those cats and had them spayed and neutered so they would stop reproducing. And, you know, population's down to a much more manageable level now. But anyway, those kittens were born to one of the feral mothers before I had been able to catch her and have her altered. So she had a litter of 6. I know, like crazy, 6. Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree on the 49ers Connections dual materials hit. And so I found the kittens, you know, I was able to get to them early enough that they're not like crazy feral like most feral cats you would think of, but they're also not 100% like a normal cat. But they're pretty close to normal. I'd say if I had to put them on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 1 being completely feral and 10 being completely normal, these particular kittens, the 2 that I have out of the 6, they are probably about a 7.5 to an 8 on the scale of being normal. Whereas the one that my neighbor kept out of the litter, hers is more like a like a 2.5. It's way down there, closer to the feral level than my 2 are. And then some of the others that we placed, you know, in other homes are doing okay as well. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But they definitely, they have the run of the house. I let them do whatever. They know that they can. Trent Richardson to $2.99 for the Browns. Because they had kind of a hard life outside, right? Before I was able to get them inside and all that. 15 years old your cats are? That's awesome. I had 2 normal cats many years ago. I say normal. I mean, these are normal with me. The kittens that I'm talking about that live in the house with me, they're completely normal, regular cats with me. I'm talking about like how they interact with other people and like if the doorbell rings and they freak out and that kind of stuff. But before I had the feral babies came in here to live with me, I had 2 regular cats, or what I call normal cats, non-feral cats anyway, that came from the shelter. One of them lived to be 16, and one of them lived to be 13. One was solid black and one was solid white. The solid white one, that's the one who's on my profile picture on eBay. I have a little eBay, whatever you call them, profile picture, I guess is the right word. There's Deion Sims hit for the Dolphins, numbered 250 on the extra points card. So he is the one that lived to be 16, the solid white one. And then I adopted the second one probably a year after I adopted the first one, and he lived to be 13. And they both were shelter babies. But yeah, they are totally like kids, right? I mean, we do, they live with you every day. You take care of them. I mean, they're part of the family for sure. I have one of my friends just lost her dog that she had, I guess, what was Megan? Maybe 12 or so? No, she wasn't 12. I don't think she was 12. But I don't know. It seems like she had her for a long time. I can't remember exactly how old Megan was, but she had to put Megan down recently, and that was awful. Aaron Dobson on card auto draft city destinations for the Patriots. Nice Aaron Dobson. A house without a pet is a lonely home. Yeah, I know. I love animals. I love all animals. I feed the squirrels and the birds and the ducks and anything else that wanders into the yard, which is considerable at times. Sometimes at night. Oh, this is one of our draft city destinations. Obviously, this is Keenan Allen with the Chargers, but it is a refractor, and it has the pattern on it whose name I don't know, and I never know the names of the patterns, hardly ever, because there's a zillion of them and I don't remember them. But this is, you don't hit this very often. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a nice hit for the Chargers, and if I could remember the name of the pattern, I would tell you. I cannot remember the name of the pattern, but that is a nice hit. So anyway, I mean, it's like Wild Kingdom here, right? Because, I mean, I feed the little outdoor kitties, and I have heated shelters for them in the winter. I mean, they've got heated water bowls and food bowls in the winter, and they have the life, and I have all their food and everything outside, and so, of course, their food bowls also get visited by the resident raccoons and possums at night. I even had a skunk that ate there for a while, which, yeah, the first black and white, when I also had some black and white cats, and the first time I walked out the door thinking it was one of the black and white cats eating and found out it was the skunk. That was an interesting day. Thank God I didn't get sprayed. But yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm sure there's all kinds of other things that come up here and eat too that I don't even see. That's part of living near a park, I think, is that, because there's all manner of animals that live in the park. Ducks just started coming and eating from what the squirrels and the birds would drop. So I got a little ground feeder for the ducks a while back, a year or two ago, so that they could have their own food too. Equal opportunity when it comes to feeding and taking care of animals. For sure. Rick, what teams do you have in here tonight? Do you have the Chargers? Is that your card that went by a second ago with the pattern whose name I do not remember? I wish I try to remember all the pattern names. I really do, but I'm just horrible at it. I cannot, my little brain cannot retain the 500 different pattern names they have for their refractors over at Panini. It's like taking a quiz every day, trying to remember that. There's another Eddie Lacy. This extra points is numbered to 50. So there's a second Eddie Lacy for you. Of course, it doesn't compare to your first one with your on-card auto, but it's still a nice hit for you. Oh, good. All right. That's excellent. I'm glad I'm glad that's your team, man. You're getting some nice hits then. That is excellent. Meanwhile, poor Le'Veon is not delivering too much for the Steelers so far. Le'Veon needs to make an appearance, I think, and help out our Steelers. So far, we've only got the one straight-up rookie that I know of. I don't remember seeing another even straight-up rookie beyond the one in here. Which is kind of unusual. You usually see a fair amount of Le'Veon and Prestige. Which, of course, in 2013, you know, he wasn't a high draft pick, so it's always kind of interesting when you find someone who was on the lower side of the scale in some of these older products that, like at the time, like now when we're pulling 2017 rookies, if you'd pulled Le'Veon Bell then, right after he had been drafted and before he had played, you would have been like, oh, I don't want him. How times change. $2.99 on the Colts with Andrew Luck material on one side and Kobe Fleener on the other. So that's a pretty cool hit. You don't see a whole lot of Andrew Luck materials hits, so that's nice for the Colts. All right, last box. The last chance for us to bring home the bacon, so to speak, out of our 13 Prestige break. And you know what? This is just bugging me. I got to move some of these. I just have to. They're just bothering me. I know they're not, you know, they shouldn't be, but they are. I just feel like I need to have that space to stack these cards that we're about ready to open. Even though, logically, there are other places I could stack them. That's just, you know, you get in the habit of stacking things in a certain spot or whatever. And then, now if I can't do it, it just throws off my whole mojo. All right, so, oh, you need the Saints to hit. Okay, David. So, universe, you have been warned. We are looking for some Saints. So, let's see if we can get the universe to deliver for you, my friend. See if we can find some Saints in here. I'm going to try to avoid the obvious ploy of the Saints come marching home, but yet there I didn't avoid it because I just said it, right? There is Marcus Davis for the Jets. I do realize he has on a Giants helmet, but you'll see down there that it says Jets. So he was traded, what does it say over there? Signed by the Jets on 5/14/13. So that is headed off to the Jets. And now we're hoping the universe is going to bring us a Saints hit and maybe a Steelers hit. And I don't know what else I'm looking for. Who else? Trying to think who else we said. Who did Dave, not David Summers, I know you're looking for the Saints, but Dave Diorio. Who else did you say you were looking for in this break? Can't remember who else it was. So again, if anybody jumped in late, I'm anticipating that this is going to ship out most likely on Tuesday. And that is because Monday is a holiday and we have no mail. Otherwise, it would have most likely gone on Monday. There's a very slight possibility that it could head out on Saturday, but I don't think that's super likely, to be honest. Because, of course, Saturday's a short day at the post office anyway. And I've still got to get all the classics out, which is a very base card heavy like tonight's break was. And some other things as well. So I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So I'm going to say that our target is probably Tuesday. And if it goes out earlier, so much the better, but that's kind of what you should plan on. I left those upside down, I know. I know I did. Jordan Reed. There's somebody I pull a lot too. Jordan Reed. Although we haven't pulled him at all tonight, have we? I mean, in terms of, you know, signature or material or anything. Obviously, we just pulled a card for him. Mike Glennon. You know, I hope that kid does. There's a second Le'Veon Bell, just straight up rookie, but still, 2 anyway. I hope that kid does some good, because I do have a bunch of Mike Glennon rookie stuff around here somewhere from whatever, however I acquired it. I don't even know how I acquired it. I probably either got it in a break somewhere or somebody didn't buy the team or something. I don't know. This is the $2.99 for the Jets. D. Milliner on one side and Sheldon Richardson on the other. And again, they gave us just like 2 of the most boring pieces of material they could have possibly given us. But, oh well, what are we going to do? They did give us a few nice patches in some of the earlier cards, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. But anyway, so if Mike Glennon decides to go up there and set the world on fire with his new $1 zillion contract that I still don't know why they paid him that much money, then we'll all be digging through our pile of cards looking for all of our Mike Glennon stuff, right? Trying to unload it. Yes, and that's exactly what would happen to him. I'll tell you right now. If that guy has like a couple of good games and looks like he's starting to move in the right direction, you better believe I'll be throwing all those right up there on eBay. Zach Ertz for Philadelphia Eagles, and that I am pretty sure is going to be a short print because, of course, that is our NFL Passport on-card auto, and I think that is a short print. So, nice little Zach Ertz there. And it's in green ink, no less. So that's pretty cool, too. Just by the way. I don't remember who had the Eagles in this break. I don't know. Who had them? Of course, I don't remember from one minute to the next. I look at so many different user IDs in any given night. And tonight was kind of easy because there were just the 2 breaks. But even so, that's 64 times I've looked at a user ID to get through these 2 breaks. Most of the time there's 4 or 5 in a night, so I've looked at a couple hundred. And I could never tell you, like if you were to quiz me, even right after I put the spreadsheet up, I would not be able to tell you who had what team. But incidentally, I don't ship from the spreadsheet. That is there just for informational purposes only so that everybody can see what they have before the break starts. I ship, directly from the invoices I print out on eBay. CJ Spiller for the Bills with a little teeny tiny piece of material down there and a white piece of material. Like, come on. If you're going to give us just one color, why couldn't I have at least just had the blue? That's all I'm saying. I mean, the uniform is predominantly blue. So how we get a little white piece of material had to be out of the middle of a stripe or the middle of a number or a letter or something. I'm like, come on. Work with us. Show us a little love. Give us the blue at least. Oh, all right, man. Well, take care, Rick. You guys have a good rest of your night. We're almost wrapped up here, so I will of course do the hits recap later. So whenever you come back, you can just scroll right to the end and check it out. So cool. That is who is that? Kansas City Chiefs, Leon Sandcastle. I don't ever remember seeing that card before in my life. I really don't. I don't remember ever seeing that card in Prestige. Like at all. Oh, thanks, guys. Have a good night. As always, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me and breaking with me. There's Matt Ryan to 100. And we are rolling upon the end of it here. All right, so there's our massive stack of base cards back there. And before we do, I tell you what we will do. We will do our recap of just a quick little run through of this stuff. Then we will do our random of that card, and then we will go through our materials and signature hits. But first, we're just going to kind of quickly recap our various inserts that are, well, in that case, whatever you want to call those, acetate or whatever. And then, of course, these are all refractors and extra points. And some of them are going to be numbered, and if they are, they're either going to be numbered right there or right up there along the side. And my vision being what it is, sometimes I may not notice a number that is there, but I trust that you all will see them as they go by, because I guarantee you your vision is better than mine. And then this was another sort of pseudo refractor. I mean, it is a refractor, but it's a, you know, that kind of weird one. I don't know what to call it. So let's go handle random for this first. And this is Jags, Titans, Browns, and Bucks. Jags, Titans, Browns, and Bucks. All right, let me see if we have the same or different team owners. Jags, I already forgot who I said now. Titans. Jags, Titans. There's one of my little kitties. Titans, Browns. Browns, where are you, Browns? And Bucks. Okay, so no, we would have had to have had one person owning all three, which we don't have anyway. So that is not going to come into play. So here's what's going to happen. I generally put these in either top to bottom or left to right. In this case, we've got 4 teams on there. So I'm going to put the top 2 teams followed by the bottom 2 teams going left to right. So that's going to be Jags. I got to look myself. Then Titans. Then Browns. And then, did I say Bucks? Yes, then Bucks. Okay. And then we're going to hit random 3 times, and whoever's on top at the end of the third random will take that card home. Here's the first, the second one, and the third one. And you'll see it says, you know, 3 times, yada yada, date and timestamp. And Jags come up on top. So let's do this so that I don't have to try and remember that later. Here's what we're going to do. Put the card in the sleeve and circle the Jags. So now I know. And just, you know, see, it's on the sleeve, it's not on the card. I always like to show that in case somebody's like, oh my God, you know, you wrote on the card. No, yeah, we didn't. So the 4-team card here is headed to the Jags. Our other materials hits, C.J. Spiller for the Bills. For the Jets, the D. Milliner and Sheldon Richardson. For the Colts, the Kobe Fleener and Andrew Luck. For the Browns, Trent Richardson. The Niners with Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree. Andy Dalton for the Bengals. Another Jag with the Luke Jokel or however you say his name, with a really nice piece of fabric on that. Like that one a lot. The Monty Ball for the Broncos. Another Bengals. Who is that? Oh, Giovanni Bernard. Good grief. Lost my mind there for a second. Joseph Randall for the Cowboys with the nice patch. And Cordell Patterson for the Vikings. So those are our material hits out of 13 Prestige. And that's going to bring us up to our signature hits over here. Zach Ertz on the NFL Passport in the green ink on-card auto. And I think this is a short print. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that it is. Then Marcus Davis for the Jets. And again, I realize he's wearing a Giants helmet, but card identified as Jets. And, you know, says down the side there that he was traded to the Jets. Then we have the nice Keenan Allen here with the refractor and the pattern whose name I don't know on the Draft City Destinations. That's a super nice hit for the Chargers. I like that a lot. Then Aaron Dobson for the Patriots on Draft City Destinations on-card auto. Deion Sims for the Dolphins, extra points. That's a sticker auto. It's numbered to 50. Kenjon Barner for the Panthers, sticker auto. On-card auto for Stephen Taylor on the draft tickets for the Cardinals. Bjorn Warner for the Colts, extra points. I don't think that one was numbered. I didn't see a number on it anyway. Aaron Dobson for the Patriots again, numbered 250. Tyler Bray for the Chiefs. Doesn't appear to be numbered. Those last two both sticker autos. The Eddie Lacy on-card auto Draft City Destinations. I think that is a short print with the signature version. You know, I think is a short print. Joseph Randall for the Cowboys, a sticker auto. He has very nice penmanship, right? I mean, look at his signature. It's so nice. And that does not appear to be numbered. And then the Alec Ogletree for the Rams on a sticker auto. So that is 2013 Prestige. That is locked and loaded. So now we have to do our nightly random. And that's where we're going to be at that point. Oh, the Sandcastle is a short print. Okay, well, no wonder I had not seen that before, because I literally never remembered seeing that card before in my life. So now I know why. It's a short print. So there you go. Oh, and Dave, yes, you have a good night too, man. But don't leave yet. We're still doing the nightly random. You can still come up. You can still come up with something here. So hang tight, man. So on the second tab of our spreadsheet here is everybody in the break, just in aggregate, so we can grab it all at once and pop it in over at random.org to see two things. We'll first figure out who our winner is going to be tonight, and then we'll figure out what out of the stack you're going to win. So let's drop everybody in. I'll just scroll up so you can once again see that everyone who should be in there is in there. I'll get it out in a minute. Me talk pretty one day. All right, so that is Explorer 2001 is our winner tonight. Explorer 2001. Now we're going to find out what exactly you're going to win out of our stack Explorer. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab the 1 through 10 that I had typed in on the tab 2 of the spreadsheet, just so I don't have to labor over typing it in there. And, well, there we go. Like, eventually I'll be able to scroll up. And that, what does that even say? Number 4. All right, so number 4. So let's grab our stack. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so Explorer 2001, you have a Brandon Allen Sage Hit. Is that on card or is that a sticker? I think that's a sticker auto on the Brandon Allen Jags. I have written on the back because obviously I could not remember who Brandon Allen played for. So yeah, so I wrote it on the back so I would know. All right, so that is your extra card Explorer that will be coming with anything else you have from this break. And guys, that is it tonight. Again, thank you so much. I always appreciate everybody bidding with me and hanging out with me, and hope to get this stuff in the mail to you on Tuesday, since Monday's a holiday, which means it'll show up at your place probably about this time next week. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope to see you again soon. Have a good night.